I mean, for me, I don't think I can like pinpoint, the time where I felt like, oh yeah, he's the one. I always thought that you were a great guy, and
Mm-hmm.
I thought that, you had a lot to offer, but as far as saying, okay, that was the moment. Oh, I just knew. Oh, butterflies and all that stuff.
What? You didn't have no butterflies? You
No,
didn't have an aha moment?
no, I didn't have an aha moment because at the time, remember, at the time, I was dating somebody else at the time, and so I'm like a one man woman. Is that the term?
One man kind of girl.
And so I mean, I was in a relationship, and so when I met you, you know, I thought you were a nice guy. I thought you were good looking. A great smile. I mean, you were personable. Personal. And so you know, it's like, oh, you're cute. You're nice. You and I, we had great conversation. I mean, and that I think drew me, made me more interested in you more than anything. The fact that I was able to talk with you, and you and I were able to discuss any subject, and you had some knowledge.
Okay.
And so it was like, oh, interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
it's just not the run of the mill kind of guy. There was something.
Even
At that point, I had a
you.
relationship with the Lord. I had my relationship with the Lord was strong at that time. I mean, for me, my time, it was, my world was perfect. But then just seeing you go through the transformation, this metamorphosis where you were hungry for the Lord, and you wanted to gain more about Him, and you wanted to know more, and your love for Him began to grow. And I think maybe that was the time when it's like, okay, oh wow, no, he's a great person. What about you?
Well, it's funny because at that time I wasn't really, I was a Christian, I was Catholic, but I wasn't like walking with the Lord. And so, what comes to mind is the word of the Lord: "He who finds a wife finds a good thing and has favor with the Lord." So when I kind of are. We were kind of an arranged kind of relationship in a way because we had a Juanita who was a mutual friend of ours. We were dating outside of our race at the time, and she's like, "Oh no, we can't have none of that. You need to date. I got." So she kind of like set us up. So I remember meeting you for the first time at Marilyn's birthday party, and so when you came into the door, and I had seen you before, but I never really met you before because when you came to visit Juanita, I have seen you before, and I was taken with you. I thought you were very attractive. But when you came in the door, there was an aura about you. So for me, I think I knew then that you were going to be my wife, and so it just had to play out its natural course. And so, but the aha moment for me, because I had this tendency of destroying my relationships, because you remember that one time I'm like, all right, I'm tired of this. I think I need some space. You remember that?
Yeah, and I said, okay, have your space.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah. So I think what sealed it for me was, despite how I treated you, despite how I said, let's put this on hold, let's go our separate ways, this kind of stuff. I remember that I got sick and you came and you took care of me. I'm like, what? After I did all this to her, and all this kind of, she showed up at my house and she nursed me and she took care of me. And then at that point, I'm like, you're a fool. You're crazy. This is a good woman. You need to make this a priority for you. So I think at that point in time, like I said, I saw the aura. I saw the bling when I first saw you at the birthday party. But I think for me that really sealed it for me, and it really put me at ease that this was it. You were the woman for me.
So what's happening this week?
So what's happening this week? We're transitioning to week 4. We're moving to the halfway point of this 8-week challenge, and so if we notice, it's been a progression that we have been. The Lord has showed us to walk us through this process of this 8-week challenge. And when we first started off, we talked about returning to our heavenly love, which is our Heavenly Father, and getting the vertical relationship in line because understanding that, as Erica was talking, how do we know how to love if we don't have the love of the Father in our heart? Because He's the one that is love, and we know how to love because He first loved us. And so the progression from there to walking into forgiveness, to establishing good boundaries, as we did in week 3. Now, week 4, we talk about returning to our earthly love, which is our spouses. And so, what does that mean? And what that means is rediscovering the things that first captured your heart. What was it that your spouse did, or what was it about your spouse that captured your heart? And what was it that was that you really loved about the essence of what you loved about your spouse in the beginning time when you first met, when you first were drawn and attracted to your spouse? And so, working on those things and gaining those moments, those early moments in your relationship, and how do we expand upon that and recapture that love and make it stronger and make it pertinent for us today.
Yeah, it's just about going back and looking at, the time that you used to spend with the person, your spouse, prior to being married, and, how you would go out of your way to do the things that, your spouse liked, or, giving your spouse the things that they desired. And it wasn't even an issue to you because you loved that person so much and you wanted to please that person. You were willing to go out of your way to, to do all those things. And so we're going to go back and try to recapture those moments and see if we can re-implement those things into our relationship today, just to kind of spark the love once again. So that's kind of what we're going to be, delving into this week.
Yeah. So it's like this, man. What are the things that we did to capture the heart of our spouses? We were romantic, brought flowers, we were attentive and things like that. But it's like being a caveman. Once we won or captured the prize, we stopped doing the things that we did in the beginning. So because we won the heart of our spouses, we are now married, doesn't mean we need to stop wooing or going after the heart of our wives.
Pursuing.
We need to continue to pursue our wives on a continuum.
Yep.
Hey, you guys are talking too loud. We can hear you.